With San Francisco's OTA starting this week, several players have started to meet with the media just to kind of give updates how their training so far this offseason has gone. And the player I was most excited to hear from was Jake Moody, with probably my biggest question being his consistency. Last season he was great until he suffered an ankle injury, and then once he came back, he never really looked like the same player, going 11 of 20 on field goals in his final 9 games. This was alarming enough for San Francisco for them to go out and bring in veteran Greg Joseph to add competition to the room. But I still had the question how Jake Moody would respond as a player. And this is what he said in a recent interview. "It's unacceptable to be kicking the way I was in the second half of the year. I don't know if I lost any confidence, but stuff always creeps into your head, especially after missing a bunch of kicks." Moody then went on to say how he was working on his consistency as a kicker by reworking his entire kicking mechanics, taking away an entire step. He usually has 3 steps, but he said the following: "I felt like I had some inconsistencies with my first jab step. So I figured I'd get rid of that step altogether and I'd just take 2 steps instead of 3. It's less room for error." And it's not just Jake Moody working on these issues alone, as he's been working with Brandon Kornblue, who's helped several players go on and win the Lou Graza Award, which is given to the nation's best college kicker. While I do think it's great Moody has been working on his craft this offseason, I do think it's fair to question how it's actually going to transition to the football field. In the interview, for instance, Moody said how he was using his old 3-step pattern all the way back in 6th grade, and him reworking it was challenging to start. So what if Moody re-falls back into his old habits once the season starts and the live bullets start flying? With that caveat being mentioned, right now, Moody appears extremely confident with his new 2-step pattern and even envisions it prolonging his career. And while that may or may not be the case, a confident kicker is a deadly kicker. And Jake Moody is just that. In the interview, he said the following: "I'm excited to see what the new 2-step approach can bring this year. Hopefully, I won't miss a single kick." Another part of the interview I found extremely fascinating was when Jake Moody was sharing his struggles from last season. He had the following to say: "I felt like I was kicking the ball the best I have in my entire life. And then, it sucks, but that's how the NFL goes. You try to make a tackle and get a high ankle sprain. After that injury, I lost the rhythm I was in. And once you lose that rhythm, it's tough to get back into it." So is Jake Moody going to be a better kicker headed into the season? Truthfully, I don't think anyone knows. Maybe not even Jake Moody. But him being this confident about his abilities thus far this offseason is a good indicator for his ability to bounce back. And if he does, he has all the ability to be one of the more talented kickers across the National Football League. So heading into this offseason and OTA period, I'm going to be watching how he's kicking the ball, how consistent his new reworked motion is, and more importantly, how he competes with Greg Joseph. Is he kind of struggling under the pressure of this new competition in the building, or is he able to rise against this competition and show he's a better kicker? Those are the things I'm watching, and these are just my thoughts about Jake Moody coming out and just kind of speaking about his struggles last season. And I'd like to hear your thoughts down below. It would also mean a ton to me if you could like and subscribe. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.